Okay, I'm going to make a videotape. There's my truck parked, and over there where the reflectors are is where we're going to go into the wooded area. Where my car is parked over here, hers might have been a little bit further up about here, but right there is where you go into the river. So here we go. Car coming, I have to wait. I'm hoping to get this all on one tape because I don't want to have to upload two separate YouTubes. Okay, so here we go. A lot of grasshoppers. I'm going to just pan around back again. Show you. There's where her car would have been. Pan around again and go back down the path. She walked in here a sober person. She had no drugs of any kind in her system. At all. Nothing. There's a railroad trestle, railroad track that runs right along here. You can see it over there. Okay, then there's the path here where we go down to the infamous footbridge. So here we go. It's pretty steep. Okay, here's the footbridge. Now, as far over as you can see, if I zoom in a little bit, there's a piece of steel going across. I'm going to zoom back out. That's where she was seated. We're going to walk over there. Perhaps I'll pause right in the middle of the bridge, and I'm going to swing out and show you. There's the river down there. Down here, as you'll see, is all rocks. There was a small amount of water running through here, right through the middle, maybe about 3 or 4 feet, something like that. It would have had to been, well, anyway, I'll get into that later. I want to call your attention to a fallen tree right there, which will become important later. Alright, let's go back over here. Okay, she was seated precisely right here. That little tree right there was where a cigarette butt was found underneath the tree. That was her brand, which was a Camel Crush. So I'm going to sit down and just show you, if you're sitting here and you have flip-flops on, which I don't, but if I did, I would take them off because your feet dangling, the flip-flops would fall off. So she had enough foresight to take them off and lay them down here on the concrete on either side of where she had been seated. The original story that I was given, one of the scenarios by the police, was that she had, the can of inhalant was found here on the bridge by her personal items. One of the stories I was given was that she had breathed the material and then simply just fell over forward. And then somehow went down there, got in maybe 5 feet of water, and then her body floated all the way down there to the river, which, as I had called your attention to the tree, her body would have gotten hung up on the tree. Would have never made it to the river where her body ended up, which is where I'm going to show you next. Notice all the rocks. If she would have fell here, from here, she would have had big bruises on her face, sharp jagged rocks there. You know, there's no way she fell forward while being seated here. So for some reason, who knows, she got up barefooted, left all of her stuff right here, and went this way. Now we're going to go to the river. Now, supposedly, she was under the influence of 1,1-difluoroethane, or however you pronounce it, from the gas. Not the gas, sorry. The duster. So she walks all the way down here, barefooted. Who knows why. Left all of her stuff back there. Comes down this path. Another little path going up there, but she didn't go up there. She probably came down here. Okay, here's a big fallen tree and the crime tape, as you can see. So, somehow, she managed to step over this tree. I suppose she could have went around, but I kind of doubt it. Step over the tree, and then come down here to the river. There's her cross that I put. And she got all the way down here, and the water level was up to those roots right there. So I'd say that was probably about, I don't know, maybe 6 feet deep or so. It was quite a bit deeper. Her body was found just a little ways off that rock right there. Kind of caught in kind of a little backwater. This white thing behind her cross, which is a piece of white styrofoam, was visible up here in front of this tree when her body was still in the water. And I can use that for kind of a gauge or a guide as to where her body actually was. Now, I'm just going to try stepping down here. I do a little jump. Because there was some question that maybe, you know, she went in on that other side and then somehow, you know, floated across down to this area. But given the fact that her sandals were all the way, and her other belongings were all the way to the far side of the bridge, I think it makes more sense that she came down the same side I just showed you. And like I said, the water was, totally covering these roots as far as depth. And the current was strong. It was kind of unusual that her body didn't get out into the current, because if it would have, this is upstream. Across the river is a park, a public park, and then downstream is where she would have went if she would have gotten into the current. But by the grace of God, she was caught in an eddy, and thank God for that. Otherwise we wouldn't have been able to find her body for quite some time. But so I'll just maybe record the walk going back up so you can kind of get another idea of how steep it is. Or maybe I'll walk around here and we'll shoot back up toward the bridge. Quite a few deer tracks down here. Okay, there's the footbridge. You can see it right there. And there's a fallen tree, which was, it was in the water. I'd say the bottom of the lower trunk there was probably in the water when there was water coming through here. But because of the way the sides of the banks of the gorge is, it would have had to have been extremely deep for her to fall face forward from the footbridge and then not have any marks on her body, get all the way down this little inlet, all the way down here, and then somehow end up approximately right here in the water. Face first, was here for 3 days. All right, let's go back up again. I'm sure she came here because her and her husband came here sometimes. And, sorry, gotta kind of crawl back up here. There's her cross. We will fight for the truth. Yes, I will. Crime scene tape, talk much. Yeah, she was definitely. And what's very interesting is her keys were missing, never recovered anywhere. Have no clue what happened there. I mean, why would she have her keys anywhere other than with her other personal belongings? Like I said, again, here's the big tree, more crime tape. But, oh, whoops. Okay, only a small accident. Sorry. We're back on the road again. That's kind of funny. Okay, back up the hill. The point being of all this is that if someone is under the influence of something like that keyboard cleaner, there is no way that they could have walked all this way down there and then passed out. It's just not feasible, especially with the very low levels that were in her liver. I'm waiting for a report on that to analyze that for me and tell me. Here we are back in the footbridge, and like I said, her things were on this side, so it only makes sense that she would have left from right here and went that way. Pretty lonely, scary, nasty place to be in the last few minutes of your life. And she was very lonely and very sad. So I think I have it. I hope you don't have too many questions, and sorry for that little accident when I lost my balance going over the tree. But yeah, right there were her things. They were all lined up. Her cigarettes, lighter, sunglasses, cell phone, flip-flops, and a can of industrial strength duster. But somehow she managed to go all the way down there and fall into the river and not be able to save herself. Doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm not an investigator. I'm just a mother trying to get to the truth. Thanks for watching, and again, sorry about the little mistake I made. Hopefully you'll understand. Thank you.